Hi, I'm Joe Connolly. With a services business owner in the heart of one of New York City's famous residential neighborhoods, the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Well, she had just started her business about 3 months before the pandemic started. Kim Duncan of Golden Light Visions, a photo and printing and framing store, but she has expanded that niche, that definition, into them actually being a wall and home decor business. Just look at all of the services beyond photo printing and framing at the top of her webpage. Kim, two questions to start off with.
Sure.
How has it been and how is it going? Let's start with how has it been since you opened, Kim?
Thank you. My partner and I, my partner Breton and I, we opened December 2019, and things were doing well. We were growing, getting known. We're located, luckily, right in front of the 96th Street subway and the express stop. And January, February, we were building, and then March came along, and everything had to shut down. So it's been a long year. I'm happy to say we're blessed being in this neighborhood. The Upper West Side is truly a wonderful community. But the hardest part is basically becoming known. And it's taken a while. When we were completely closed down, obviously for the 3 months, we tried to pivot and do more on the website, but it's been tough. Thankfully we opened again in June, but that was the summer. And I will tell you that we could tell that pretty much everybody was gone. September, October, we started to see a little bit more. We're right on Broadway, so we have huge windows that look out. And only the last, I'd say, 3 months have we started to see an uptick in people walking by. And thankfully, we have some loyal customers, but it's great to finally see people where they're coming in now saying, oh, is this new? And here we've been here over a year, and people are just finding us now. Either they just left their apartments for the first time, and I've heard that too, or they've just gotten back into town after leaving for the entire year. That just happened yesterday.
Wow, that's quite a story. Have you had to go into reserves or get a reduction in rent to make it through this period?
Yeah, very
What
much.
did you do?
We are blessed that we have a landlord that we've been working with the entire time. He's been working with us. He's been negotiating with us. It's a little unnerving because about every 3 months we have to revisit it and bring it up again. But I try to basically always let him know how things are looking. From what I know, I'm not sure if they're in town or not. So I basically let them know what I see and what I'm seeing. So I'm hoping that it'll stay this way, that we'll keep negotiating, because I personally believe it's going to be a very slow recovery from what
You do?
I do.
Why?
I literally look out at the subway. I see the stop, and the amount of people that are coming and going. I take the subway every day. It's been about 25, not even 50% of the amount of traffic that we usually see. I feel that now that and I'm thankful, I've been hearing schools are reopening more, and being on the Upper West Side, that affects us because there's lots of families here, which is why we wanted to be here. We've got artists and creative professionals and also families, and that's who we want to work with and consult with. And I mean, just families are barely coming back now. So I just started to see families the last couple weeks. And with
Are you think you're going to make it, Kim? You've got a beautiful looking business.
Thank you so much. Well, here's the thing. We are committed, and Breton and I, we always say failure is not an option. So that's what we hold on to. And I will say, thankfully the landlord helped. We had SBA, we have an SBA loan, and thank God that had some debt relief for a few months, but we did not get any PPP because we were brand new and had no employees. So, every month it's a nail biter, but we believe in ourselves. We believe in our customers. We know we're about quality service, and we'll give everything we have to make the customer satisfied and do the best job. We get lots of beautiful comments about our results that we, when we work with customers. So I know that our quality is there and we care. And that's it. We won't look at another option. That's basically what we say.
Good for you. Producer Neil A. Caruso joins us in these discussions too. Neil?
Joe and Kim, so you're on 95th and Broadway, and you told us a little bit about your neighborhood. How are you trying to find those customers? How are you doing outreach? How are you hoping to grow?
Well, that's been the hardest part because it's just the two of us. So I would love to be spending more time on, building our website's search engine optimization. And, and that is something I'm working on right now with someone in our industry. But it's hard because we're doing all the physical work. We're the worker bees while we want to grow and expand beyond our 2 to 4 block radius. So by the website and e-commerce and building our brand recognition is that's basically our best option right now.
Okay.
And try to network maybe with some more industry professionals. And word of mouth is, one of the most important things that has always worked for us. But it's not easy right now because we picked this location for the reason that we always wanted to feel secure, that we would have traffic. And if people come and find us, we know we'll give everything we have to make sure that they're happy. And we do have wonderful, loyal customers that continue to come back. It's just reaching out exactly and trying to be found.
What are some of your top selling items in the store and online?
In the store, it's basically large metal prints, doing large prints on fine art papers. We consult with customers. So my partner, he's amazing at working with individuals and looking at their images and working together. And we make beautiful wall products. Basically, that's one of the biggest things we do. The website, it is a lot of information. People are using it more for information. I'd love it to be more where people order online. But a big part of what we do is consulting and working with the customer directly. So that's why we felt the impact so much, because when people weren't allowed to come to the store, we missed out on the opportunity to work closely.
I often find it illustrative to ask what people did before they started their business. What did you do before this, Kim?
Well, myself, I was in marketing and customer service in the corporate world. My partner, he has a fine art degree and has always been in the graphics, and he did vinyl design, vinyl sign designs, and he's an artist. So that's we have a nice combination. We're also significant others, so we work very well together, thankful to say. And he just has that artistic, creative flair that he's so talented. And I love running the store. So we have a really nice combination. And I love merchandising. I select all the products. So my marketing customer service gets used, and I enjoy that part a lot. And he does his art.
It almost always makes sense. You almost always see some logical outgrowth of what people have done before. I noticed you one thing I like is that your website has do-it-yourself photo tips. Do a lot of people look at that?
Well, that's actually something new that that we added. So I'm happy to say that people have been clicking on it, and it's a series. I belong to an association that produces these, and I think it's wonderful because they're quick tips that you can do at home. And everybody, I will say, everybody that comes in is concerned about their images, and most people say, "Oh, I did this on the phone. Is it good enough?" And so our tips will help people make them better. And then we can take it to the next level where we can look at the image and decide, here's what we can do to boost it. We can make it, so that it can go larger. What would you like it to be? So we can work with your images. But it's great for people to learn lighting tips, things like that, just with their phone, because that's what we're all using right now. And
it's interesting that took off. And I wonder, What are your customers telling you right now about their needs? Are they redesigning their homes? Are they, seeing things differently now in Manhattan?
Well, what's really great is we were trying so hard during the whole pandemic in the fall, refresh your walls, and it's amazing. But I think it took time for people for that to resonate. And so I will say from January and February, we started to get more people come in and say, I've been wanting to frame this for so long, or I want to print this out, or I'm tired of that wall. I want to do something. It's been blank for so long. So I'm grateful that I think people finally are saying, well, in some ways it's great that they're going to be staying at home and looking at their walls and we can help refresh them and make them beautiful. But I also am hoping that people do still get out, and I'd love it if they go to their office once in a while, because it just gets people out to the subways, and it's a nice mix. That's what I'm hoping for.
People need a new Zoom background.
Right. No, and people have brought in things and made things for changing up their walls that they're tired of seeing something that's been old and not, nothing that makes them happy now.
How did you come up with, I think it's a real nice name, Golden Light Visions,
Thank you so
instead of Spotlight Productions or Bright Light City or something. That's a really nice name. How did you come up with that?
Thank you, because I have to tell you, we worked so hard and so long to get the right name. And my partner, who is also a photographer, Golden Light is that peak hour.
Yeah.
Photographers to get that beautiful golden hue, and it's such a wonderful, it's something that photographers strive for. So that's part of it. The golden light is the ultimate light for your photography. And visions is, we wanted to make it so that anybody has an idea in their head, we want to make their vision happen. And so, it's all about us making, whatever their vision is, we can make happen together. And so that was how we came up with the name, and it took a very long time. And you can't do much when you're building a business if you don't have the name set. So, thank you. That's like the ultimate compliment that you liked our name after all we went through for it.
That's great. I asked the founder of JetBlue once, David Neilman, how did you come up with such a great name for an airline? Did that come off the top of somebody's head one day? You know what he said. He said, no way. We worked and worked and worked, and it makes sense when it does work. It's not easy. Are people still framing posters, or is that passé?
Yeah, no. We get a lot of that. And we work both ways with customers where we can do custom framing, of course, especially if it's some, beautiful art piece. But even if someone, gets a poster of art that they love, but it's just a printed poster, we carry frames that are typical standard sizes, 24 inches by 36 inches. So,
but what are they framing? Posters of what? Old museum exhibits, or how has that changed?
It could be anything. Someone had some old concert, posters. Someone had their favorite artist. They're buying reprints or, production prints. So
interesting.
Yep. People are, we had someone do something from Matisse. It was just a poster print, but they're putting their own art up by doing it the most affordable way. So, and we can do it affordably by having frames for them, or we can make it more with custom, mats and custom framing. But posters are big.
Kim, where do you go from here? What's your summer projection going to be like? What are you hoping to come around to as we hopefully move past this pandemic soon, hopefully?
And I do fully believe that as long as this city stays open and continues on its path, I will say it, at least for us, every month has been a little frightening because you'd be watching, making sure, are we staying open? Is anything going backwards? So I do believe we're finally past a point where we'll continue to open up. I'm hoping that in the fall that people will go back to offices, even if it is on a rotational basis, because that affects the street traffic. And so anyone that is poised to have customers from walk-by traffic, I believe we're all hoping for, yes, people going on the subways again and going to work, even if it's a couple days a week. But also, it's also been a huge I don't know if I'd say a learning. We always wanted to grow our website and our reach and be found online, but it is difficult. Search engine optimization it's a whole world that we are exploring. And so pivoting to getting more of an online business, along with being able to work with customers by them walking by our windows and coming in. So I do plan on it still growing. I know we'll get past this. It's been a really long year. So I'm glad.
Right.
It's
What do you-
interesting, and it must be nice for you to hear, as you said at the beginning, people come in and say, "Oh, are you new?" That's a
Yes.
real good sign, Kim, I would
Yeah.
think.
Honestly, it so is. I mean, and it is a little funny to say, well, we've been here over a year, but we know that you haven't, had a chance to see us. And we have some scaffolding right now. We are right next to a construction area. So I will say there's been some obstacles in that way, but those are temporary. So it's
Well,
basically surviving and getting past all that.
what is the website if people want to see your vision of framing and printing and home decor? What's the website, Kim?
So it is www.goldenlightvisions.com.
goldenlightvisions.com. And stop in and brighten up your own day. It's been great to talk with you,
Oh my
Kim,
God, it's a
and
pleasure.
good
Thank
luck to
you.
both of you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.